tell us a little bit about Life Bistro and then what makes you all different? I understand it's a vegan background, which is really dope. It looks amazing. It doesn't look vegan, I'll tell you that much. It looks amazing. But tell me a little bit about you guys.
So Life Bistro is a vegan restaurant that really I would rather call it a vegan fine dining, which is the first of its kind in Atlanta, Georgia, located right in Southwest Atlanta, in the same neighborhood I actually grew up in, walking distance from where my mom still lives. So
Wow.
it's something that I always wanted to do, and always wanted to have, in my community, was options that were healthy and taste good at the same time. And we started the restaurant February 2020, literally 1 month before the pandemic. A lot of people tell us that, because of our food, they're willing to try going vegan, or they say they've never tasted this kind of food ever before in their life. And then really something that I'm really trying to get away from is people thinking of us as just a vegan restaurant. I want people to think of our restaurant as, just a great place to eat, period. We have great food. It just so happens that we didn't add any meat or dairy to it. But if you try it, I think a lot of our items are things that you might find on the menu at any restaurant.
Yeah.
But we just found some of our favorites and pulled them all together.
That's dope, man. That's a beautiful story. I mean, to be able to, grow up in an area and then at one point be able to supply that community with good food. Can you just tell us a little bit about why, you choose to post the content that you do? And is there any strategy behind that?
Well, we've actually, from when we first started our Instagram page, when we first opened up the restaurant, we rose to about 12,000 followers in about 8 months of being open. And what we actually did was we turned over our Instagram insights, which, if you have a business page on Instagram, they give you some detailed data analytics on all of your posts that you have. So we were able to pull that data and turn them over to a data analyst who actually looked at all of the data and compared it to my sales data. And I was able to get some concrete information on what were the days where we were really doing well on sales and how could we correlate that with the Instagram. And we slowly found out that there were certain types of posts that really did well based on what we did. So it was taking that information, but it was also doing some research with Instagram. As everyone knows, your likes and the exposure of all your posts is based on the algorithm. And Instagram is constantly changing that algorithm as more people move their businesses to social media. Instagram knows what's happening. They see the trend and they want to monetize that as well. So they're changing the algorithms. They want to encourage more people to do the paid ad spend. I think it's all about a few tips on really how to maximize your posts. Some things that I've learned. Number one is you really got to let your posts breathe. So, if you post something, really give it time for people to look at the post before you post your next post.
Okay.
Because what happens is what I call cannibalization. Whatever post you put out, it sort of cannibalizes the last post, and Instagram stopped showing that last one to everybody. So if it's something that you really want to get out there, post it once and just let it breathe for like at least a couple hours before you post your next piece of content. Another thing I've learned is to really stay up to date with the new features that Instagram puts out. Every time Instagram adds a new feature, Instagram wants that feature to get more exposure.
Mm-hmm.
So if you utilize the latest features, you're more likely to get more exposure. Mm-hmm. For example, they just released the Reels. And if you scroll down your timeline, you might notice all you see is Reels.
Mm-hmm.
60-70% of your posts is Reels. That's not because everybody's posting Reels. It's because Instagram is only wants you to do Reels because they're trying to compete with TikTok. So it's just important to stay up to date with their new features. And then the third one I would say lastly is just to try to use as many of the different features that they have on Instagram. Mm-hmm. So, there's videos, there's stories, you can do a carousel where you post multiple pictures in one thing, and you swipe to the left or the right to see all of the pictures, you know, doing your hashtags, like really just maximize everything all the way down to tagging influential people in your posts. You know, people
Absolutely.
tag me all the time
Yeah.
and stuff. And if it's cool, I'm like, all right, yeah, leave it on my tag page so other people can check it out too.
Yep.
So I've seen a lot of people get followers that way. Another one that's really effective, and this is one I wasn't even thinking about, is doing like those, what are like the little competitions,
Yeah.
contests?
Giveaways.
Yeah, the giveaways. Oh my God, I had no idea those things are so effective. Like I
Yes.
did
Very.
one giveaway with a woman who has like 10,000 followers, about the same as me, and I think we both saw like 500 followers in extra in like 1 week just from, you know. And it was free. Like we came up with one product that we was gonna give the winner, and all of that for all that new exposure and all that new business. You know, it was great.
Yeah. So that is literally the. I mean, I've had a few friends that are in the PR spaces, and they are always telling me stay on top of giveaways, because giveaways is the easiest crack to the game. You know what I mean?
Oh my God, you wouldn't believe it.
Yeah, so that's great, man. I'm glad you're able to drop those gems on everybody who's going to be able to take a look at this. But I wanted to move on to the next question. Is, see, what type of content do you put up the most? Do you prefer videos, or do you prefer photos, or do you see putting up like recipes to things being another form of content as well?
It's sort of changed over time. And it's funny you asked that. Like when I first started my Instagram, before I even had the restaurant, you know, just my personal blog page, ATL_vegan, it was mostly pictures. Like, and that's what people were responding to the most, just pictures. And this was like 2-3 years ago. And then I would start to do recipes to go along with the pictures because people were wanting to get engaged in that. And I would see a little bit of uptick when you do the recipes
Okay.
because it gives people something else to connect with outside of your social media. So that was cool. But now when I started the restaurant page back in February, you know, the pictures were still really effective. But lately I've started to notice that videos are king. Like,
Yeah.
you'll see a few pictures, but I mean, all you got to do is just scroll down your timeline
Yeah.
for 30 seconds, and you're gonna see nothing but videos.
Yeah.
So lately, man, I've just been trying my hardest to get as much video content as possible, and I haven't done my first reel yet, but that's my homework assignment
Yeah,
for
man.
this week is to get a reel done and get that up on the restaurant
Like
page
you
as soon as
said, I
possible.
mean, you said it the best, man. I mean, if Instagram releases a new feature like the Reel, obviously, with politics being a big, you know, at its point with Trump wanting to get rid of TikTok, I'm sure
Mm-hmm.
that Instagram is looking at this like, well, hey, you know, let's not stress if we're not able to get rid of it. At least we can, you know, take that feature and get everyone to use it on our platform.
Right.
And that's why they have to put it in your face so that you can know it's there. You know what I mean? And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I think it'll catch fire and rest in peace TikTok, just like Snapchat, right?
Exactly.
But yeah, that's like you said, if you're able to maximize it and learn it now, you're able
Yeah.
to kind of I think Instagram rewards. I think they have a mind of their own, but I think they reward or tend to reward people who beta test or, you know, launch or try their newest
Yep.
product the most. I think they reward you with exposure, man, and
Mm-hmm.
putting you on that popular page, right? The explore page. So, yeah, I mean, for anybody who would be interested in understanding how Instagram works, it works like a human.
Yeah. Because
You win.
that's the thing. They tweaking that algorithm every day. They like,
Yeah.
all right, how can it benefit us? And you know, they were flirting around with the idea of taking the likes away. They did it for a couple of days, you know, to a
Yeah.
couple accounts.
Yeah.
And then they put it back on there. So, you know, Instagram, they got a mind of their own. Even when they roll out new features, they don't roll them out for every account all at the same time. There's still some people out there who can't do reels yet.
Yeah.
So yeah, you know, just gotta stay abreast and know all the little tricks, you know.
My question to you is this. So obviously Instagram is and other platforms similar to it are platforms that allow, you know, influencers who are in the similar space to all be on a kind of like even playing ground, right? Even field, you'd say. We're all like everyone in my space is on the same platform as I am, right? So what would you say? what is the challenge you face when broadcasting your content on a platform that has other influencers that are in a similar space? Like,
Yeah.
what do you feel about that? And, what's your feedback on that?
I mean, honestly, man, I can do nothing but appreciate it because, it gives you a great benchmark. Like I could choose to get annoyed at how amazing Slutty Vegan has been with their marketing and their ability to gain exposure and grow. I could choose to get annoyed at that, coming from the fact that we could consider them a competitor. But they're just so good at what they do. We have no choice but to pay attention,
Mm-hmm.
take notes, look at some of the awesome things that they do with their marketing. Notice how at 10 a.m. they're posting something right at 10 o'clock on the dot every single day.
Mm-hmm.
And when you think about the fact that they got a lot of smart people over there and they have a full marketing team, there's got to be a strategic reason for it.
Absolutely, yeah.
Sometimes you don't gotta know why somebody's doing something. Just copy it and do it. You're like, all right,
Exactly.
they got to be doing it for some kind of reason. There's got to be a reason. And then I slowly started realizing that if I'm opening my restaurant at 12 o'clock, I want people to come in at 12, well, I got to give them enough time to see my content, to work it into their consciousness, and then work it into their schedule. If they're hungry at 12 o'clock and they're just not seeing my posts, they've already made plans for lunch. So just little things like that. I've learned more than anything from my competitors and seeing them on Instagram. And what we've actually have started doing is use it as a way to support each other even more.
Yeah, absolutely. Collaborations.
Right. Like you're gonna see all the vegan restaurant owners at each other's events. Either we fully supporting or we taking notes. So that when we make our next move, we're making the right move. And we all understand it. Like most of us are black owned businesses with these vegan restaurants in Atlanta. It's still a new landscape and it's still changing every day. So I think we all just, taking notes, paying attention, and trying not to get left behind.
What do you, my question to you is, could you see at some point businesses like yourselves making or monetizing a little bit more from their super fans, in a sense of like saying, you have your Instagram base as a place for you to obviously pull in new users, new fans, or, new people to come eat at the restaurant, however you want to place that. But that being a place where it like kind of, here's my album, here's my house, take a look. This is my page. This is what we do. And then each business having their own application, mobile application, where they could then post, super fan coupons and super fan content, and also allowing fans to book and order through that application as well.
Yeah.
And then, having a donation component or a subscriber component where you could say, hey, if you want to view how I made this, you can pay $1 a month for the premium package. Would that be something that would be interested, or it would interest you in your space? Like, is that something that you could see?
Yeah, most definitely. Like, I would love to have an app. I think the only reason I don't have one now is I just haven't, the opportunity hasn't presented itself as something that I can just kind of jump on right immediately. But yeah, like I know a plant-based pizzeria. They have a mobile app where you can order straight from the app and go straight to their restaurant. I'm pretty sure you can do a couple other things in terms of getting coupons and staying up to date when they have like pop-ups with other companies. So I've observed that. One thing we've tried is we do have an online ordering system where we're able to capture certain information like customer phone numbers and emails. So using that to reach out to customers on other occasions when we have special events. And then we haven't implemented it yet, but we did create a survey page. And so what we're going to do is create a QR code for that and then attach a 10% discount to the completion of the survey. So that does a couple things for us. It gives us some information on the customer in terms of their email so that we can contact them for advertisement touch points, but it also gives us some great feedback on our products and our services so that we can continue to get better. And what it's really about is return customers. You know, if
Mm-hmm.
you know the 80-20 rule, 80% of your company's revenue comes from 20% of your clientele.
Yep.
So there's a small group of people that are constantly coming every single week. So how can we turn more of those one-time customers into repeat customers?
Yep.
And using that survey system where we are able to reach out to them and offer them a discount is one of the ways where we're trying to make that happen.
Yeah, and that's dope, man. That's testimonials is the life of any business, you know what I mean? And being able to have a lucrative, process in place for you to be able to have those testimonials come in and you're able to put those out for your following to be able to see that there's real people who have left and taken out time to leave that great feedback for their experience and their service is huge, and it only makes you, it's the backbone to the truth of who you are, your identity, right? So that's definitely important. I think the last question that I have is, is there any other challenges that you face? You know what I mean, as an influencer in a business on Instagram. What other challenges could you be facing that you could see yourself, if those weren't so difficult, you would be in a better position? What are those like?
Well, I think one like general challenge with social media, and it presents itself for like people who are not business owners, that are just consumers of social media anyway. But I think business owners face the same challenge, and it's this sort of information overload, this feeling of needing to constantly stay competitive with other people that are also on social media. And doing that, and as a business, you want to constantly stay competitive, but in doing that, it's easy to get taken away from what your vision is.
Yeah.
It's easy to get taken away from what you do well, and it's easy to get taken away of where you really should be focusing your energy as a business. So
True.
I think that's sort of just like that thing that's kind of lurks in the background, is while you're using social media as that tool to stay on point, to make sure you're getting all the information, and to making sure that you are keeping up with your competition, making sure you're not getting pulled too far away from what it is that you do best. Because we feel like we have a very unique niche in the fact that our food is most of our meals are alkaline, and we have that dine-in experience where you actually can sit down, enjoy your food, and we're in a Black neighborhood. So we think like whenever it's time for us to really go hard on social media, those are the things that we need to highlight about our food, the things that are different from us, from everybody else. And I think if any business that's online wants to just continue to stay relevant, just continue to find your niche and work on that. There's going to always be things that you compete with other people, and they're doing something similar to you, but what's that one thing that you have that no one else has?
Mm-hmm.
And as long as you focus on that, people are going to always come to you, because you're the only place where they can get that one thing.
So, man, it was great taking out the time to talk to me and tell me a lot about, obviously, Life Bistro. I'm definitely going to check it out.
Yes, sir.
Excited for you guys. I love what you're doing. Kudos to you again, putting something back in your community. I mean, hats off to you, man. That's really dope. Excited. Thank you again for taking out the time, man.
Yes, sir.
And we'll come see you soon, bro. And I appreciate that.